students, in the last session we discussed about adventure and sport tourism in detail. In this module, we would elaborate on beach and island tourism. The module would be in 3 sections. Part 1, Introduction to Resorts and the concept of beach and island tourism. Part 2, Beach tourism with detailed study of Kovalam Beach. And Part 3, Island tourism with special context of Lakshadweep Islands. So let's start the session on the resorts and the concept of beach and island tourism. The session flow with learning objectives would be as follows. Emergence and growth of resorts, USP and features of resorts, challenges in resort operations, classification of resorts, concepts of beach and island tourism, introduction. To understand beach and island tourism, we first need to study about resorts. Hotels and resorts are different. The hotel is a place which provides facilities like accommodation and meals for the travelers or tourists, whereas the resort is the holiday or the recreational spot that provides much more than lodging and meals. The resort can be thought of as a concept that creates an environment which enhances the feeling of well-being and enjoyment. The resort hotel is a luxury facility that is intended primarily for vacationers and is usually located near special attractions such as beaches, seashores, scenic, tourist places, ski parks or spas. It is a full-service lodging facility that provides access or offers arrangement of amenities and recreation facilities to emphasize a leisure experience. Resorts serve as a primary provider of the guest experience, often provide services for business or meetings, and are characteristically located at vacation-oriented settings. Sea and sand is the kind of tourism in vogue today. The boom in waterborne recreation accentuates further the relevance of beach resorts and island resorts in the development of tourism. Evolution of resorts. Historically, people have always traveled for reasons of business, government, education, and religion. However, widespread travel for pleasure before the 20th century was another matter altogether. The history of resorts is linked to pleasure traveler, that is, holiday or vacation travel. Indeed, the sole purpose of a resort in the classic sense is to offer its user a place for escape or restoration from the world of work and daily care. Early European origins of resorts based on current historical and archaeological evidence can be traced to the Romans, probably the first to build hotels entirely for recreational purpose. A visit to the baths was a favorite recreation almost all classes of Roman societies. The baths were very popular because they met a variety of needs. In addition to cleanliness, the baths were used to health purposes. When the first public baths were introduced in the 2nd century BC, they were small, modestly decorated, and separate baths were built for men and women. Features of the resorts. Activities and recreation. Perhaps the most distinguishing feature of the resort are the favorable climate and wide range of recreational activities they provide. It is important to distinguish resort, recreation and activities from full service and convention hotel, recreation and activities. Full service hotels may offer large and up-to-date exercise rooms, indoor-outdoor swimming pools, and even whirlpools and saunas. Some offer tennis and basketball courts, but they are not the focal point of the hotel. Resort activities are generally outdoor and take advantage of the favorable climate and nature, desert or tropical settings. Following is a list of some recreational activities that can be expected at a world-class resort: golf, tennis, spa, water complex, beaches, hiking, cultural tours, nature tours. Naturally, the location and time of the year will determine what the resort is capable of offering. The recreational facilities are upgraded to include appropriate landscaping, spacious layouts, attendants, and food and beverage outlets to offer convenience and flexibility to their guests. Other distinguishing characteristic of these resorts activities includes attendants are available to give lessons or assist guests. Shops offer merchandise and equipment. Spa offer treatments, exercise programs, personal trainers, and specific food and beverage for health-conscious guests. Beach attendants can organize group activities and rent beach equipments from cabanas and umbrellas to catamarans and jet skis. Attendants coordinate and make reservations for local tours and activities. Water complexes may include lap pools, sport pools, water slides, beaches, rafting, waterfalls, and multiple whirlpools. Tennis courts may offer a selection of hard, clay, or grass surfaces. Ski lessons, equipments, rental, and packages are tailored and offered to guests. Amenities. The number and range of amenities is another distinguishing feature of the resorts. These upgraded amenities are primarily located in the guest room and in the bathroom. Keep in mind that amenities in many full-service hotels now include in-room coffee, hair dryers, ironing boards, internet, phone hookups, and 2 phones. All these amenities are upgrades and are provided at no extra cost. Resort room rates are generally significantly higher and guest expectations are higher also for their guest rooms. Therefore, resorts can provide larger size name brands and wide range of amenities. Services. Resorts provide many recreational and cultural activities and therefore are expected to provide the guest with the services to participate in these activities. Full-service hotels might provide concierge to assist with these services. In resorts, the difference is that you will probably have more concierge working and for longer hours. They must be able to answer all the queries and the guest questions, make suggestions, and ultimately make the reservations. Guest requests and expectations can be quite detailed and specific and also cover a wide range of requests. The concierge must be able to handle all of these requests to the guest's satisfaction. For example, in a resort destination known for outstanding golf, the concierge will be expected to know the number of golf courses and their location, the type of golf course, fees, level of play, and availability of tee times. Often, material is available to be given to the guest to assist them in making their plans. In a beach location, the concierge is expected to know the type of beach, distance from the resort, special activities such as shelling, fishing, water sports, rentals, and even when the high and low tides are there. Another service that is expected at a resort is turn-down service. This service is performed in the evening or night and includes refreshing towels, emptying trash, turning the bed covers down, providing mints or cookies, turning on lights, and turning on the music to a relaxation station. This service is intended to give the guest a personal service and create a relaxing atmosphere. Seasonality. Seasonally defined resort operations. It is climate driven and generally involves a wide range of weather. The high season is the most attractive season that provides moderate temperatures, minimal rain, maximum sunshine, and enables guests to enjoy the many activities around the resort destination. Winter resorts can provide tropical or desert climates and guests can choose between humid and dry climates. Shoulder seasons are the transition months when the climate is not as favorable as high season but not as unbearable as off season. The winter months are also the high season for winter sports such as skiing and snowmobiles. While warm moderate temperatures can define the high season during winter, so does lower temperatures and plenty of snowfall for the winter ski resorts. Generally, January through March are the prime skiing months, but they can be extended from November through April based on the snow levels and the temperature. Group and leisure market. The two main markets for the resorts are group business and pleasure or leisure travelers. These two markets are very different and resorts must market to them in different ways. Early, resorts in 1700s were the home of wealthy and the leisure market was the only market. Guests arrived by the horse and carriage or later by railroad, and their intentions were to relax and get away from the concerns and issues of home. They enjoyed the mountains, hot springs, beaches, and personal services. Relaxation were the norms. Modern resorts are now accessible to middle class as well as high income travelers. There are more resorts located in more destinations, accessible by all means of transportation, and providing a broad range of activities. These exclusive nature of resorts has been broadened to include anyone who has the time and can pay the rates. While some resorts retain an exclusive nature, most welcome all the guests and are focused on providing great resort experience. Modern resorts focus extending the leisure field to meetings and conventions. They need to keep up more and better competition, not only in their location but other resort destinations. High occupancy levels, in addition to high room rates, are required to be provided expected financial results, keep the resort in excellent condition, and provide improvements that will ensure the success of the resort in the future. The emerging of the group market has been critical to the success of today's large resorts. Most resorts offer a large amount of meeting space to accommodate group business meetings. Meeting space includes outdoor space and pre-function space that features the resort location, culture, and climate. Resorts offer groups the opportunity to meet for business in a leisure atmosphere and provide resort activities to their attendees. Group meetings typically are over a longer period of time to enable attendees to participate in golf, tennis, beach activities or spa sessions as a part of their schedule. While group business generally receives lower room rates, they also provide additional resort revenue with their meetings and banquet functions and recreational activities. Group business is generally between 50 to 80% of typical resort operations. Memorable experience. Main aim of the resort is to provide memorable experience for each and every resort guest. This could range from a honeymoon couple to a group of 1,000 for their year-end recognition celebration. A resort must be capable of meeting each of these very different expectations. The honeymoon couple might want to spend their days relaxing, enjoying the culture, beach, climate, and dining opportunities. Or they might want to fill their days with activities and action, golf, water sports, spa, tours, off-property nightlife. The group might want to take advantage of the cultural activities offered by the resort destination, or it might want to have the biggest and best meetings of the year. They could focus on extravagant meetings and banquets or provide golf tournaments, spa packages or cultural tours to keep their attendees busy and happy. They may have chosen the resort because of the destination or because of the chain affiliation. Regardless, they want their meetings and activities to go smoothly and take advantage of the resort climate and its leisure settings. The concept of a memorable experience can take many shapes and forms depending on the guest. What is consistent is the ability of the resort to do an extra, the unthinkable in terms of activities and service. The willing attitude, being creative and responding to the guest needs or complaints, exceeding the guest expectation and recognition. That is a special time and experience for the guest. All the essential ingredients in creating a memorable experience. Seasonality brings with it many problems. Early hiring of part-time staff, motivation of employees, promotions, advancements, reducing food and beverage supplies correctly at the end of the season, security and site maintenance during the downtime, difficult to recoup investment and operating cost with such a short window as short as 90 to 120 days. Many facilities have gone year-round trying to attract convention and business travelers. Creation of festivals and events to attract the off-peak seasons. Challenges in a resort operations. Managers and management. All resort managers must understand basic lodging management, guest relation, employee problems, and advanced purchases of F&B supplies. Corporate and employer responsibility. Some resorts have a policy of not lowering employee numbers even during non-peak times. Difficulty of finding help in isolated areas, increased employees' productivity. Many urban resorts don't hire large labor pool. Many resorts are the primary employer in an area. Employee housing, access to schools, church, shopping for employees, employee families. Often, most provide some of all employee housing. Labor, jobs must be more flexible and require more responsibility. Duties in commercial hotels are more specialized and remain the same yearly. Resorts have a bright future. Resorts outperform other areas financially. Increased concern for quality of leisure time. Chain operations have advantages over independent branding. Tax reforms favor larger chain operations. Hottest trend in hospitality is timeshare. Some of the major classification of tourist resorts of India are mountain and hill resorts, beach resorts, cultural centers and heritage tourism, adventure resorts, offbeat resorts. There are several types of tourist resorts depending on their location in different geographical regions, diverse characteristics of their sites, and scope for a variety of tourist activities. A briefly classification of tourist resorts is given as under. Mountain and hill resorts. Almost all mountainous and hilly regions of India are dotted with places of tourist interest. In the north are the Himalayan ranges, blessed with scenic beauty which is beyond description. Besides these, there are high hills in the northeast and in and around Nilgiris in the south. There are hill ranges of medium to low heights in the Western Ghats, Vindhyas, Satpura and the Aravallis in addition to isolated hillocks elsewhere. Hill resorts are divided into following three categories according to their altitude. Resorts at great heights between 2100 to 3500 meters above sea level. Hill resorts at medium altitudes between 1200 to 2100 meters above mean sea level, and hill resorts at lower altitudes between 800 and 1200 meters above mean sea level. Beach resorts. The long coastline of India has several beaches which offer ample scope for promotion of beach tourism. A number of beautiful beaches of Goa and that of Kovalam in Kerala are quite popular with the tourists. There are vast stretches of shining golden sand of beach at Chorwad and Ahmedpur, Mandvi. The Maharashtra coast has 8 small beaches from Mumbai's famous Juhu to Murud at a distance of 220 kilometers. Goa's 105 kilometer long coastline has many as 40 beaches, out of which 12 are very popular with the tourists. Karnataka's beaches are at Mangalore and Karwar. The sun-swept Marina Beach in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, is the world's second longest beach. It runs for a distance of 12 kilometers from Chennai harbour in the north to St. Thomas Church in the south. Two beaches of Andhra Pradesh, namely Ramakrishna Mission and Rishikonda, are located in the close proximity of Vishakhapatnam. Orissa's Gopalpur beach is surrounded by sand dunes. Besides, Puri and Konark Chandipur near Balasore is known for its 55-kilometer recession of the tides each day. At its head, Digha beach of West Bengal is very close to the Ganga's sea mouth. With a total length of 6 km, it is one of the widest in the world amidst gently rolling sea and thick casuarina forest on its two sides. Cultural centers, heritage tourism. India is proud of being very rich in heritage tourism. Here, the cultural centers are of varied types. The outstanding centers being temples or pilgrim centers of all faiths, ancient ruins, forts, memorial places, places of historical importance, and gardens. These cultural centers are distributed all over the length and breadth of India. Adventure tourism, offbeat tourism. Adventure tourism includes a large variety of activities such as trekking, skiing, river rafting, water games, mountaineering, rock climbing, hang gliding, paragliding, hiking, and camping in the habitats of wildlife. The type of tourism is not very popular, as only about 7% of the total tourist traffic opt for adventure tourism. However, there is a great scope of making it popular if young people, particularly in the age group of 25 to 35 years, are motivated for adventure tourism. Trekking. Trekking involves walking or hiking over long distance for fun and recreation. The real thrill of trekking games comes by walking over rugged and remote terrain, lacking in good means of transport, going up and down the hill, crossing passes, and coping with extremes of variable weather in high altitudes. Some of the well-defined trekking routes are marked in Ladakh, Uttaranchal, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, etc. Mountaineering. Lofty peaks in the Himalayas region have attracted mountaineers from all over the world. Mountaineering became very popular with the adventure lovers after the conquest of Mount Everest in 1953. The Himalayan region has the largest number of high peaks in the world. Most of the high peaks are under permanent snow and throw a great challenge to mountaineers. On an average, there is one high peak after every 20 kilometers. In Uttaranchal, the source of Holy Ganga, a few kilometers above Gaumukh ice cave, lies one of the best mountaineering areas of the world. Towards the east, Sikkim offers great opportunities to climbers. The Indian Mountaineering Institute at Manali, Darjeeling and Uttarkashi and the Indian Mountaineering Foundation at Delhi render valuable help and guidance in organizing and sponsoring the mountaineering expeditions. Winter sport resorts. Winter sports have become very popular with tourists, both Indian and foreign, in the recent past. Skiing is one of the most popular winter sports on the snowy slopes of the Himalayas. Gulmarg, 2,730 meter in Jammu Kashmir, Narmada, 2,700 meter, Kufri near Shimla, as well as slopes along Solang Nala, close Manali in Himachal Pradesh, and Auli near Joshimath in Uttaranchal offer excellent opportunities for the winter sports. The reason so much stress is being put on the resorts is because both beach and island tourism thrive on existence of good resorts. India, a sunshine-rich country and having a sprawling, massive coastline, has a good potential for beach tourism. Beach tourism is defined as it is a travel for recreational leisure or business purpose specifically on beach. The tourists who come here are beach bums. They like sea breeze and salt water. Beaches are a great resource of tourism. It attracts a large number of domestic and inbound tourists for any country blessed with sea and ocean. It helps the government to increase the revenue and the development of infrastructure. Tourism to islands is a special form of tourism that often requires specific consideration as there are distinctive characteristics of islands such as fragile environment and historical and socio-cultural aspects that can result in unique challenge to develop a successful tourism destination. India's maritime potential is huge and unexplored. The country has 7516 kilometers coastline, 23 lakh square kilometer exclusive economic zone and 1382 offshore islands and islets. A majority of these islands lie in Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep. Let's summarize. This session was an attempt to familiarize you all with the following: emergence and growth of resorts, USP, unique selling proposition and features of resorts, challenges faced in the resorts operations, classification of resorts, concept of beach and island tourism. Hope you find the session interesting and it has been able to give you a fair idea about resorts, creating a base to further understand the concept of beach and island tourism. Thank you.